This week, bugger the news, we're going to have some jokes. I think we've had enough of coronaviruses and, well, I keep getting words wrong. I keep calling them convids. That's the last thing you want. Get the convids right up there. Anyway, folks, when are the theatres going to open again? Are they ever going to open again? Will they ever be the same again? And I'm sure they will, and I'm looking forward to going back out on tour next year. As I said, I have a couple of little formulas in my mind, but it all depends what Boris decides to do, and we will do what Boris tells us to do. A lot of people, a lot of comedians like myself, will get a bit frustrated because they like to show off and they're not on stage all the time. Me, I don't mind. I started doing these before the lockdown, funnily enough, as I must have some form of telepatheticness. But there's a lot of guys going on YouTube and a lot of people, a lot of singers and everyone filming themselves singing, and dear old Catherine Jenkins giving us opera from the front room and that. But we need to get in the theatre. We need to be with people. Laughter generates laughter, doesn't it? So various options open to us. But what will we talk about, our stand-up comics, when we go back? It's pretty easy for us to go back because all we need is a microphone. Well, you think it would be easy. Most of the theatres fucked that up. That's why I'm banned from a lot of them. Not because of my political stance, but because I'm rude to that lefty fucking guy dressed in black who's a militant placard holding fucking whatever. How dare he say our sounds? Who's this? Erkinald? Get this right, you ungrateful fucking Tory white privileged ant. Well, that's what goes on. So, what do we talk about when we go back? What do comedians talk about? As I said before, I've seen lots of young comedians and they don't make me laugh. But then they're not supposed to make me laugh. I'm 66 years of age. They're supposed to make the young people laugh. If you watch live at the Apollo when some guy comes on and does his 15 minutes, all he does is say his first line and everybody laughs. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? What are they laughing at? You know, it's like American audiences. They used to have a big sign up on the thing, laugh. You know, to the audience, laugh, applause on TV, canned laughter. God. And so when I look at these young comics thinking, fuck me, you're useless, and I see all these young people laughing their heads off at him, well, obviously he can't be useless because he's delivering what those people want. Young people want young comedy. The young people want to, they don't realise it's more fun to laugh at someone else, having someone else as the misfortune of being the tag of that joke, the butt of the joke, as the young people say. So if you look at comedians from the past, they used to tell all those lovely jokes. Max Miller, there we are. I was walking along a country lane. I was walking along a country lane. I was on a mountain pass. I was on a mountain pass, and this young lady come towards me. I didn't know whether to block her passage or toss myself off. There you go. That's probably the dirtiest joke in the world. And he'd go on stage, he said, I've got the blue book here, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the white book. The white book's the clean jokes, the blue book is the which one do you want? They said the blue book. I think that's why they were called blue jokes. You know, why blue? The air was blue. It's Max. And he dressed like a, well, what did he dress like? And I think he actually gave the impression that he was gay when he wasn't allowed to be gay. He left that little sort of thing in the air, is he, isn't he, type of thing. But a joke is, what is a joke? Where do I hear my jokes? Someone tells them to me. Someone phones me. I know very few people who write jokes. Mickey Pugh writes a few jokes, but some of the great joke tellers over the years, Bernard Manning, even though, now, interesting case of Bernard Manning, he was a great joke teller, but he told jokes about anything, and he had no conception of racism. So he wasn't a racist because he didn't understand it. He didn't quite get it, that he was telling a joke about a black bloke in the audience about coming from the jungle or something like that. And he couldn't grasp that. Well, there are loads of people come in my club. And I suppose he has a point. If you go to Bernard Manning's club, what do you expect? Apart from warm beer and dirty jokes from the blue book. I remember Danny LaRue saying to me about jokes. He said, when you're on television, you little urchin, I love your dirty jokes, but you've got to be careful when you're on the television because you're invited into someone else's home. There's a difference. They didn't pay to come and see you. And he has a point about that. A comedian goes out to make his audience laugh. That's what these young guys do. The young guys go out and make them laugh. And girl comedians go out and make people laugh their fucking heads off. But they won't tell jokes. As I said, I saw Dominic Holland die on his ass. He wouldn't tell a joke. Tell a fucking joke, Dominic. Get a laugh. That's your job. I've got a few, actually. What is How do you class a joke? A joke is laughing at yourself or laughing at someone else. We do both, actually. When we're frightened, we laugh. When something goes wrong, you laugh. Whenever comedians and people get together, you laugh at your misfortunes. Whenever me and my boating mates, Shep and Foz and Oz and John, we all get together round the campfire, so to speak, we always talk about the fucking great waves and how the boat conked out. Not how we did perfectly and how we got there. You always talk about disasters. The old comics dying on their asses all over the places in these shit old working men's clubs up north. I did one once. I was second on the bill to a leak contest. There you go. But what is a joke? What is a racist joke? That's interesting. Can you tell jokes about Australians? They're a race, aren't they? But as long as you tell the jokes about the white ones, you know, and it drives people bloody mad. Indigenous Australians are now Aborigines. Non-Indigenous Australians are white people. That pisses the white people off, I think. And probably the Indigenous Australians who are quite happy to be called Aborigines. Apparently that's a racist term now. Can you do a joke with an accent in it? Can I do a joke about a South African and talk like a South African? Is that racist to do that? Well, if he's a white South African, that's not racist. But if he's a black South African, it is racist. Even to do the fucking accent. Not even to do anything. So where do you take that? If you do an impression of Frank Bruno, is that racist because he's black? But if I do an impression of Jimmy White, that's not racist because he is white. Where does it end up? Where is this going? Where are you young fucking people taking us here? Where are you taking us? You're taking us towards a roadblock full of cowards, which is corporate Britain that's frightened to death to laugh at anything. If it's a racist joke, don't fucking laugh at it. I remember being in a army camp, quite an important army camp, and I sat next to the vicar. He was round our table. He was the padre for this particular regiment. And we sat there, and Lenny, the sergeant major, stood up, and to break the ice, it was mostly men, about 99% men. He was at the rugby, a dinner, black tie, lovely. The beer had been taken. It's 7:30. Food was about to be served, and he said, "Right, I just want to tell you the difference between jam and marmalade. You can't marmalade your cock up your wife's arse." and I turned to the vicar, thinking he's going to be horrified. And he turned back to me and went, "Yeah." So that didn't offend him, because he chose not to take offence, because he knew that that was what the majority of people were going to laugh about. Do you know what I'm saying? If Lenny had said Jesus was an old fucking wanker or something, that would have offended. Well, it would have offended me as well, but the vicar particularly wouldn't have liked that. So what causes, and how do you deem a racist joke? Is where you take the piss out of someone that's not the same colour as yourself. But an Irishman is the same colour as me. So it's not colour, it's a race. I don't know what this fucking race means. Racist! Are the Scottish a race? Are the Welsh a race? Is Newcastle a race? Is Leicester a race? Where does it end? So let me tell you a couple of jokes and you can work it out for yourself. Why these jokes have to be in a certain way. The first example is about two Japanese men in a sushi bar. So already there's a generalisation that all Japanese people eat fucking raw fish. And I think you can tell jokes about the Japanese, not because of the Second World War and what they did to our fucking prisoners was unthinkable. See, the snowflakes don't know that. They don't know the Second World War. All they know is they kill the whales. Oh no, they hunt whales, they must be awful. Who gives a fuck about whales? Not the country, the fish. Can't even breathe underwater. It's got a fucking hole in its head, that's why it has to keep coming up. It fills up with water, it's sinking basically. It's like an hole in the fucking boat. Anyway, two Japanese men in a sushi bar, pissed. Now, these Japanese men have Japanese accents, funnily enough. So there you go. So is this racist, or shall I do them as Cockneys? What you do for a living? For a living, I work in a clean effluent from a sewer. You clean effluent from a sewer? Yeah. Or the effluent from a sewer, I clean it. Oh, so do I. That's what I do. I clean effluent from a sewer. Which sewer you work? I work at Yokohama Street Sewer. Yokohama Street Sewer? I work in Yokohama. You clean effluent from a Yokohama street sewer? He says, pulling the stereotypical face. Yeah, he said, I work there too. Oh, what level do you work at Yokohama Street cleaning effluent? He said, I'll clean effluent, Yokohama Street sewer, level 7. I work on a level 7. I work on a level 7. How long you work there? I worked there 25 years. Fuck me. I worked there 25 years too. How come we never met? I don't know. Maybe we just nips that pass in the shite. Right. First of all, blame Mike Batt, the composer. Under my overcoat, dangling free, the flasher of Wimbledon, come, and that's me. Right. He told me that joke. I'm not sure he wrote it. He probably heard it from someone in a pub. So there's a long line of racists all the way down. But is it a racist joke? Do they have to be Japanese? Yes, because nips that pass in the shite is the play on words to ships that pass in the night. Now, nips, is that a derogatory term? Is it another N word, nip? Well, seeing as the Japanese people look at their motherland, their homeland, as Nippon, then nip is just a little short word for that. So if you're going to ban that joke because it has the word nip in it, then you've got to stop all black and white American films with John Wayne flying in the sky. There's a nip in the air. Could you do it in another accent or another something or other? Well, just let's look at this. Two Irishmen, not in a sushi bar. They're in the same. Similar. They're in a Guinness bar, right? And these Irishmen speak with Irish accents as well. And one said, "I recognise your face." He said, "I recognise your face. Are you from Ireland?" "I am, and proud of it. So am I." "What part of Ireland are you from?" "I come from County Cork." "Have you lived there all your life?" "Not yet." "I come from County Cork." "What part of County Cork did you live?" "I come from Fermoy." "Fuck me, I come from Fermoy." "What street did you live?" "I lived in Corelli Road." "Well, Holy Mary, Mother of God, I lived in Corelli Road as well." "What school did you go to?" "I went to St. Joseph's School for Boys." And the barman said, "Fucking twins are pissed again." So there you are. Is that offensive to anybody? Probably is the answer, but we all need to get a grip, don't we? Okay, thanks for watching on YouTube. I hope you get the point about jokes. I hope you're soon back in the theatres. Come and see me. You young people, come and see me. Come and see what you call old school comedy. But comedy is comedy. It's either funny or it's not. Press the subscribe button or come and join www.jimdavison.uk. See ya. I don't care, do I?